All right, what's up guys? We are in the garage today. We are not going fishing. This isn't a tournament video, but I wanted to walk through my Old Town AutoPilot 120. I've run this boat for the last year, so I've gotten pretty comfortable in it, got it rigged out how I want to get it rigged out. Didn't want to jump into this video too quick, but at this point I'm pretty confident with what I'm doing with it, so I'll walk you guys through it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. All right guys, so we're gonna start right here in the front. Of course, you need to have nav lights. Got them on both sides, the red and the green. You need those, anything that's motorized, so have those right up front here. Those are run right into here. There's, yeah, you probably can't see it, but there's a fuse box in here. All my nav lights run to that, my Minn Kota puck, all that stuff run to this, so they're powered all the time. And I just have a button to run them. But also in here, I will leave like rain jackets or just little stuff that I don't think I'm gonna need, like rags or spare prop, that sort of stuff. I just leave it all in here just in case. And then moving back, we have the 45-pound thrust Minn Kota with spot lock, which is an absolute game changer. You need it these days fishing KBF style tournaments or BASS. Of course, Hobie, you can still using the pedal drives, which is awesome as well. It kind of gives everybody a different outlook on everything. But if you're in a tournament that allows motors, having a motor like this with spot lock is just so necessary now. Moving back a little bit, this is kind of what a lot of the comments are on, I think. 3 graphs on a kayak, yeah, it's probably a little bit too much. It was supposed to be temporary. This graph, this is a Helix 7, I have a Helix 10, and then I have a Garmin 10. This is the 106 SV Garmin. So this is just for live. That's all it's for. I don't have a Garmin transducer on this boat. I only use it for live, which is right here on the Fishing Specialties mount. And then I keep it, when it's in the upright position, I keep it on the YakAttack double header mount. And then that kind of runs down through, and I have a through hole wiring kit right here that cord runs through. So I just have enough right there to pick it up, put it into this, and then store it like that when I'm driving or whatever I'm doing. I can use that YakAttack double header mount. This is a Helix 10, Helix 7 just for mapping. Helix 10 is going to be for your side imaging, down imaging, that sort of stuff. I just hadn't transferred my waypoints from the 7 to the 10, but honestly, I'm really liking how this is set up. 3 graphs is probably overkill. It's probably a lot. I completely understand that. We are in kayaks. I'm sure there'll be comments about it, but so far I'm liking it. I'm probably going to run with it for a little bit longer. I'll transfer those over and see how I like it. But like when I was in Florida, I took the whole Garmin unit off. I took the transducer off, everything. So I only had 2 graphs then. So there will be places where I will only use, there are probably some places I'll only use this one. But for doing the bigger tournaments, I think having as much of an advantage against all of these guys that you can have, the better. It is bulky. It's, you know, it's right in front of you, but with this boat, I have plenty of room to fish around them, and I'm not overly concerned about it. I have this one run through just the standard Old Town through-hole wiring kit there. And my 2 Hummingbirds are also going to be just standard Old Town through-holes, but I just have 2 of them. I just drilled 1 more up here to get the rest of the wires through. So super easy to install. And this one's on a YakAttack mount, and these are on ram balls. So kind of whatever you prefer works. They're both fine for kayaks. You're not going 100 miles an hour. I take them off when I drive. I don't drive with them on, of course, just because of how much they'll move around. And you know, they all shake a little bit. There's no, you know, no 100% the best solid mount on a kayak that I found. So unless somebody has a different way, I don't know. That's what works for me. Of course, PFD, life vest, that sort of stuff, whatever's more comfortable for you. This is an inflatable. I know other people don't like, or some people don't like inflatables. It's just comfortable for me, so that's what I wear. This is the remote for the AutoPilot, or the iPilot remote for the motor for the Minn Kota. Coming back a little bit more, we have the Ketch Board. I think this is called the Ketch Cradle. I'll put all the links to everything in the description. But this Ketch Board will slide in and out of here, like you see in my videos. I got a lot of questions about this. Ketch makes it. It's on their website. But this slides right out. It track mounts, which is perfect. This is a Hydra Concepts aluminum track, and same on that side. They're both Hydra Concepts tracks. So check them out, guys. It's just an upgrade to the plastic ones. They don't have as much give to them. They're a lot more solid. They line up with the same screws that are already on the Old Town. So just unscrew one, unscrew the other one in. It's awesome. But this Ketch Board sits right in here, and it goes up till it hits that YakAttack mount. That's enough to stop it. This Rogue Fishing tether right here is what I use. It just clips onto the seat, and it quick disconnects when you want to take it off the boat. You just hit those, and then you're off. But if it does fall in, obviously your Ketch Board, your phone, fishing rods, that's really what you need for kayak tournaments. So you need to make sure that you have at least those 3 things. So that way when you get a fish in the boat, you can take a picture of it and submit it, because that's the only way you're gonna get credit for that fish. So moving back a little bit more, this is a Yak Gear little bag. I just keep random stuff in here, like this dip and glow. I keep the adjustable wrench, super glue, scissors, little snips, pliers, all that sort of stuff. Inside here, there's gonna be screwdrivers, Sharpies, things like that. This bag is not waterproof. At least the one that I got. I don't know if they're supposed to be waterproof or not. That one is not, so you don't want to leave anything in there like tourney tags or identifiers or anything like that you think are going to stay dry in there, and then if you lose one, you can just pull that out and it's going to be good to go. It's probably going to get wet, so just keep that in mind if you're going to order one of those. I keep these little Bass Mafia bags here. I have 2 of them. This one's going to be more for swim baits. This one's going to be more for like my regular soft plastics that I use every day. In here, this is not usually in there. That sits right there. So once you open the seat, I have my battery box here, of course, loaded down with the Enduro Power Lithium batteries. I have a 100 amp hour for my motor and a 24 amp hour for my lights and my Humminbirds. So that's what I run those off of. Over here, this is a Ram X grip that I have mounted to a track. And this is the YakAttack retractable, I forget what they call it, but I'll put a link to that as well. All track mounted right there on that dry box. It does add a little weight to it, but I mean, it works fine. I'm good with it. So in here, I keep my registration, whistle, what else is in here? Headlamp, I think, whistle, yep. Just anything that I need. There's fuses in there, there's spare prop pins, there's prop nuts, little stuff like that that I just know I might need, I keep in there. Minn Kota puck, that enables the jog feature on your autopilot. The jog feature is incredible. It's worth $150 or whatever that cost. I would buy it again in a heartbeat. If that broke tomorrow, I'd have another one in the mail the next day. In here is going to be where I put my Garmin black box. It just sits right under the seat here. Easy access. If something comes unplugged, I can reach in there and grab it. Nice and easy. For these wires over here, I just ran I don't know if you can see it, an Old Town through hole wiring kit right there too, just so I can get in there. That's where I plug in my GRAPHS, plug in my lights, and power that fuse box with this 24 that's under the lid here. So quick and easy, just plug in right there and you can go. The motor obviously plugs in here, or the 100 plugs in there for the motor. Coming back a little bit more, you'll see the 100, or this is a 50 amp hour Enduro Power Lithium that plugs in right here. It's the same plug that runs the motor, and I did that intentionally so that way if this battery is still alive and well and this 100 dies, I can just grab this cord and I can run it right over here and plug it in as a backup. Haven't needed to do that yet, but just in case I ever do, it's just nice, quick, easy to do. But this plug right here will run my live. This powers the black box and powers the Garmin Graph. I think I've heard some things that you want to run those off separate batteries, so I might end up trying that soon, but so far I don't see an issue with it, but I'm also fairly new to live, so we'll run it like that for a little bit and then maybe switch it up later in the season. This is going to be my line box. I usually don't bring that whole thing, but I will bring it either spools, or once in a while I'll bring the whole thing if I think that if I'm going through a bunch of different lines and whatnot, I'll bring this whole box. This is going to be just for swim baits and trailer style plastics. So that stays behind me. I don't use that stuff quite as much as I do, like, say, like a worm or a drop shot bait or something like that. That's what'll be in here. These are going to be more your swim baits. This is the plastics I use day in, day out, all over the country, that I just have a lot of confidence in. Worms, you know, Senkos, trick worms, craws, that sort of stuff. That's all gonna be right in there, just so I can get it a little bit quicker, grab a couple at a time if I need to. I don't have to go digging through this to find a bag of something that I'm gonna use 100 times in a day. Coming back a little bit more, YakAttack BlackPak Pro. This is the 16x16. I just switched to this, so I don't have a ton of experience with it, but so far I love it. It's loaded down with Plano edge boxes. I fit them in there like that. I have these two smaller ones back here, so I can get to everything. I did put a couple of the bungees in there, just so not everything like sloshes around too much. So I do like the bungees on that, but so far, loving that. Nice and stable, could throw everything in there, throw it in the truck, works great. So have that. Here, these rod holders, I have 6, 7, 8 rod holders on this BlackPak. I bring a lot of rods, as you can see in my other videos. I just would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I just load this thing down, I bring it all out there. This is where I mount my boomstick to. Like I said before, we're in the garage today, so couldn't do that. But that's just one of those YakAttack 90s, and then just the basic track mount for the boomstick. So that's that. Going to the other side, this is where I have my 360 light. I just ran a little plug right under here, so I can unplug and plug that in. And then I didn't want to have to drill a hole for my 360 light in the back of my boat, so I just track mounted it on a piece of cutting board. You pop this open, throw your light in there. That's it. That's the only hole I had to drill, was for a little plug right there. And all of that runs off of this little plug right in here in the dry box. So all my lights and everything are going to be on this plug right here, or on this button right there. So I hit that button, all my lights come on, and keep it nice and easy. So that's really my boat, guys. All right, guys, so that is how I rigged up my Old Town AutoPilot 120. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully there's something that I do a little bit different than what you've seen before. Give you a couple ideas on how to rig yours when you get it. So thanks, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you at the next one.